8:30 News Bulletin live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues directives to offer some fees and taxes exemptions to new investors in touristic projects in the Governorate of Musandam. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed arrives in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, leading the Sultanate's delegation to the emergency GCC Arab and Islamic summits. And the foreign ministers of Islamic Cooperation Organization discussed the Palestinian cause and the situation in the Middle East. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issued his royal directives to offer some exemptions from fee and taxes to any new investors who wishes to establish a touristic project in the Governorate of Musandam as an exemption from any applicable system in this regard. The move aims to activate the tourism aspects in the Governorate. The royal directives state that the exemptions shall be from custom fees on building materials, tools and equipment required by the tourism projects during construction period, an exemption from the 4% tourism fees and the 5% municipal fees starting from the actual operation of the projects for a period of 10 years. The royal directives also state that an exemption shall be given from the 15% company income tax starting from the actual operation of the projects and for 10 years. These exemptions shall be enforced starting from the 1st of June 2019. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, leading the Sultanate delegation to the emergency GCC and Arab summits in Mecca today and in the deliberations of the 14th summit of the Islamic Cooperation Organization due to be held tomorrow. His Highness Sayyid Shihab was received by His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Faisal bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, Governor of Mecca and Special Advisor to the Custodian of the two holy mosques, a number of Saudi civil and military officials in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and members of the Sultan's embassy in Riyadh. His Highness is accompanied by an official delegation comprising Their Excellencies Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Mohammed bin Saeed Al Kalbani, Minister of Social Development, Dr. Sayyid Ahmed bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Sultan's Ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Dr. Saleh bin Salim Al Rahbi, Secretary General in the Office of the Advisor of His Majesty the Sultan, Dr. Ali bin Ahmed Al Isai, Sultan's Ambassador accredited to Egypt and Permanent Envoy to the Arab League, Ambassador Mohammed bin Nasser Al Wahabi, Head of GCC Department at the Foreign Ministry, Ambassador Sheikh Salim bin Suhail Al Ma'shani, Head of International Organizations Department at the Foreign Ministry, and a number of officials. Earlier today, His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed left the country heading to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. His Highness and his accompanying delegation were seen off by Their Excellencies Sheikh Abdullah bin Mohammed Al Salmi, Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs, Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, Dr. Hamad bin Saeed Al Aufi, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, and Charge d'Affaires of the Sultanate's Embassy in Saudi Arabia. The Sultanate participated in the preparatory meeting for Their Excellencies the Foreign Ministers of Islamic Cooperation Organization in Jeddah with the presence of 57 countries. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, headed the Sultanate delegation in the meeting. It reviewed different issues concerning the Islamic world, among which are the Palestinian cause and the situation in the Middle East. It also discussed fighting terrorism, cooperation between member countries, and the challenges facing peace and stability, in addition to political, social, economic and cultural issues. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and yet to come in our news bulletin, Eid Habta, or market in Sanaa Souq in the Wilaya of Mudabi, commences its commercial activities.
سارع في قيد اسمك بالسجل الانتخابي. صوتك أمانة. انتخابات أعضاء مجلس الشورى للفترة التاسعة. مع تحيات وزارة الداخلية.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Ministry of Housing signed an agreement worth 2 million Omani riyals for the construction of 45 housing units in Juwaira area in the Wilayat of Ja'lan Bani Bu Hassan in the Governorate of South Sharqiya. This was as part of the partnership initiative between the government and private sector institutions to finance housing projects targeting citizens of limited income and social security families. The agreement was signed by His Excellency Sheikh Saeed bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Sheikh Saif bin The agreement was signed by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing. The Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Oman discussed the recent financial and economic updates in the Sultanate of Oman and the performance of money exchange companies. The board also discussed means to improve the potentials in this sector and the financial position of the Central Bank of Oman and the performance of its foreign investments. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sultan bin Salim Al-Habsi, Deputy Chairman of the Board of Governors. As part of Telecommunication Regulatory Authority efforts to support Omani youth in the telecommunication sector, Omantel and Oman Broadband Company signed 8 contracts with small and medium enterprises. More details in the following report by our colleague Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi.
To provide employment opportunities for Omani youth, Oman Telecommunications Company Omantel and Oman Broadband Company signed contracts with 8 small and medium enterprises.
The project started a few months ago, and now we have a list of SMEs qualified, trained, and they are ready to do the job. Today we signed the first batch, 8 companies, and we are waiting for the second batch to be signed with Omantel and Oman Broadband.
The signing of the contracts followed the completion of training 22 youths in different SMEs on Last Mile Connectivity Project, LMC, under the supervision of the operating companies.
The contract which basically signed with those for SMEs are special contracts with some exceptions, such as the flexible payment terms and conditions and some other flexible terms with related to bonds, the waiver of some bonds, and basically those contracts are expected to be deployed for the next year, and the target of those contracts basically is to do the last mile connection.
We have signed an agreement with 4 of the SMEs for the project of last mile connection. It's an initiative from the TRA, where the objective is to support all the SMEs to be part of this last mile connections, and also to generate job for Omanis and be able to fulfill the requirements of connecting the last mile to the customers.
This initiative endeavors to support SMEs and potential startups by training Omani youth to carry out technical works to deliver broadband and fiber optic services from buildings to buildings, in coordination with all relevant parties, including Petroleum Development Oman, Oman Development Bank, and Oman Fiber Optic Training Institute. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi, Muscat.
And now the preparation of Eid is on the way with the advent of the Eid al-Fitr. Eid Habtos in various governorates in the Sultanate started their commercial activities. One of the very well-known souk is the Snau Souk in the Wilayah of Mudaibi, which attracted many sellers and buyers who came to purchase the needs of Eid. It's a traditional market that provides all requirements and needs of citizens of the Wilayah and neighboring governorates. It displays various goods such as livestock, vegetables, fruits, and fish with other accessories. And now, here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers at 3:54 a.m. and Maghrib prayers at 6:54 p.m. And now it's the time to look at the general weather forecast around the south. And clear skies will prevail over the most of the governorates, with chances of loud clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of Arabian seas. Winds will be south to southwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. More details on your screen. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues directives to offer some fees and taxes exemptions to new investors in touristic projects in the Governorate of Musandam. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed arrives in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, leading the Sultanate's delegation to the emergency GCC Arab and Islamic summits. And finally, the foreign ministers of Islamic Cooperation organization discussed the Palestinian cause and the situation in the Middle East. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin, brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. From the entire news team and myself, we do thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and Ramadan Mubarak.